Alright, let's go talk to Lula first, huh? You really did go deeper into the caves. Well, you were easy enough to find. I've met a few of your former assistants. One can't help but hear things. So, this is what became of our project. Oh, I've made some additions. Joseph stole the data tapes for the first half, so I've had some blank spots to fill. Yes, I know. He published his version, actually. I'm sorry to report that it's a bit tediously sentimental. We found your doctor. Oh, good. Yes, you're looking not well, to be honest. You smell like a distillery. Have you been drinking? Looks at the floor. Well, I wouldn't blame you if you'd been. It's so dim here. So you found the address data? Just pass it over to Donald here. Donald, will you be a dear and crunch these numbers? We're looking to sort out street name collision. Dogwood Drive. Wasn't the Bureau gonna take care of that? I insist. I have cycles to spare. I'll just pack my pipe and get to it. It should only be an hour or so. Andrew will carry it over. 2 dots. I'll be at the Bureau for the rest of the night. Just mark it private materials for the attention of Senior Clerk Chamberlain. How do we get to the Bureau from here? The bridge. Yes, the bridge. Through the gate over there. Sentimental. Now we, too, recede into history. Good night, Donald. Meet me at the Bureau and we'll get you on your way. Head counterclockwise to the cathode ray and then turn around. That's just clockwise until you find the Bureau. Between us, I think you should drive. I didn't know Conway had been drinking. Whoops. Whoa. Oh yeah, his leg makes that weird sound. Well, there's nothing else to do here, so I guess it's time to leave. Oh, Roberta? What? No, wait, no. I can't. No. It didn't let me select anything. It's just gonna keep walking. So, yeah. Oh, God, this game, every single time the gate is open. Roberta? Woman in a long, worn skirt stares at the fire, lost in thought. Okay, well, that was not useful. Let's go. Hiking backpack leans against a rock. It's full of empty wine bottles and library books. Oh, hey, it's those guys! I've had this song stuck in my head for over a year. Someone has left a portable tape recorder on the path. Doesn't appear damaged, but there's no tape to play or record. Bookshelf was carried only part way up the path here, before the project was abandoned. Still useful. The peak of the spire is crowded anyway. A sensible, modern electric lantern has been left here. The batteries have long since died. Hey, Blue. It's been a long time. They move on. So it's counterclockwise until we reach the cathode relay. Right? The rope. The cathode relay. Okay, now we turn back. You know what? I want to go check some of these places out. Like, what is the cathode relay? Wait, back to game one. The tape recorder. Huh. Uh-oh, I think I messed something up. The cat carrier? The backpack. Interesting. Let's go back and let's hit, okay, yeah, there's the rope, so that means that we'll actually get to the cathode relay this time. Now we turn around, and eventually we will come to... So these are all the tunnels that are just in here. And I bet you anything that's that repeating voice that they talked about in the caves. Huh. She said it was just clockwise until we reached it, right? There's the bureau. Huh. We're on scene 13. I want to talk to Blue. I haven't talked to Blue in over a year. Got the time, Blue? Nah, you don't care about that. Maybe I should be more like you. Let's go to reception. Hey, Lula. Here you are. Marianne has the rest of the evening off, so I'm minding the desk. You're not too busy? If I'm in the middle of something, I just left the phone ring. It's soothing in a way. The results just came in by courier. Good news. Donald's assistants were able to sort through the noise. I had Rick cross-reference the results against some of our records. He found a corresponding mail stop on the Echo River route. As it happens, the night ferry is scheduled to make its stop here shortly. The ferryman carries the mail and collects the garbage as well. I'm sure you can catch a ride out that way. You're welcome to wait here. I have to get back to packing. Are you going somewhere? I might. I'm feeling impulsive and I'd like to be ready. Maybe back to Mexico. It's been years. I still have one of my sculptures in the museums down there, did you know? Big, ugly iron thing. Time to have it scrapped anyway. Safe travels. Try to stay out of the water. It's colder than it looks. And deep. Well, all we can do is wait. How long do we have to wait? Oh, who knows? Alright, what happened? Up to you. It's okay, you can tell them. It doesn't matter anymore. Fine. So we were in that graveyard. Where the strangers come from. Huh. Oh, are we gonna get what happened? Because I don't remember, and I'm not sure if we ever did. Well, this can't be right. Looks like an old church. Worth a look inside, I guess. I want to see outside. Okay. I'll stay with him. We can look for lizards. Okay, we'll make it quick. Okay, so yeah, we are getting the other half of that. Alright, let's look at the floor. Church floor is cold metal, scuffed and flexed by unknown boot heels. I'm just gonna check everything out before I sit. Handmade apparatus for the production of moonshine assembled from scavenged metal and natural materials. Sit, I guess. That's the last thing to do. I don't know what I expected. The strangers, he kept saying. Kind of vague already, isn't it? Donald's a stranger. Hell, you and I are practically strangers. Listen, earlier in the mine, I didn't want to talk about it, but... What did you find down there? When I saw Weaver, she was on TV. I was testing a pretty simple tube repair, flipping through the channels to check the saturation, and she was just there. It was kind of horrible. I mean, I told you she disappeared, suddenly, ran away. But we thought... She thought she was dead. Yeah, I guess I don't like to say it. Dead. And then the next time I flipped to channel 2, Weaver. It's burned my vision now. She's standing in a room. The walls are blank, kind of gray. There's tape on the walls, like markings, and desks. A classroom, maybe? The camera's in the corner, so it's sort of 45-degree angle of that room, and there's Weaver right in the center of the picture. I stopped turning the dial. Hell, I think I stopped breathing. Eventually she spoke, but there was no real sound, just this awful hum. I read the closed captions. She said to go to the mine. I'd find something there. Can't remember her exact words. Whenever I try, I get distracted. Fuzzy. Shannon coughs into her sleeve. It's so dusty in here, right? I hadn't noticed. Maybe it's me. Kind of allergic to... What the hell was that? Did you hear that? We should check outside. We should... Oh. Okay. Ooh, I am the Skeleton. Skeleton warriors? Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Visitors. Stranger activates the tape player slung on his shoulder. Crackly drawl echoes in the room. His patient sounds like it should be smiling. Doolittle, my regards. I hope I didn't keep you waiting long. We don't see a lot of foot traffic these days. Guess you're here about the job. I'm afraid we only have one opening at the moment. Horrible business. We're actually looking for some information about an old computer. Certainly, I'll tell you everything you need to know. I've only just met you, but I feel certain there's a place for you here. I'll just take you over to meet the dispatcher, show you the trucks, get you familiarized. We can converse as we go. What is this place? Some kind of factory? Yeah, maybe, but for what? Why hidden away like this? What's that smell? Like bread. Baking bread. Please, follow me. So Doolittle has the same leg as Conway's replacement leg. So that's weird. I have to ask you to step in here a moment. This is for your safety, and to adjust your outfits a bit. There's some protective headwear up on the wall back there. Please remove your shoes and eyeglasses. We don't wear glasses, so that won't be an issue. Well, do us a favor and put on the headwear anyway. Just this way. Weird. Okay. Where'd Conway go? Alright. I got scared for a second. Weird. Like, not gonna lie, this is really weird. Wow, check this stuff out. It must be decades old, but it's in perfect condition. You really like old electronics. Yeah, I've got it bad, huh? That's why I got into this business. Keep old stuff like this running. Seems like such a shame to let it fall into ruin, you know? Like the computer back in the cave, Xanadu. Decades of engineering, thousands of years of mathematics and philosophy all petrified into living stone. How could you just let it fall apart? What's this? Are these robots or something? More new arrivals this evening. Plenty to do. Got to relay the formula. What job are they working? We actually just need to ask you about a computer. What formula? Oh, the formula. Changed our lives. Once, years ago, we were as prisoners in the intricacies of our debts here. We'd have to account for everything on paper. Compounding interest by hand, reassessing immortalization, and leveraged asset distributions according to nightly merit decay. Then she stepped out of the dark caves to show us the light of the formula. She had a brilliant grasp of mathematics and a saint-like way of speaking right through the numbers. Now we just plug our daily numbers into the formula and run it all through the adding machine. We occasionally suffer some surplus drift, but she instructed us on all the necessary adjustments. It was devastating to see our reverend mathematician go, but she was needed elsewhere. Her legacy abides. We just actually need to ask you. No, the orientation is all done by voice and root. We don't believe electronics have a role in our company culture. Computers are tools. Plenty of interesting mechanical this and that's ahead, though. Shall we move on? Whoa. What? I didn't mean to do that. Earl? This is Earl. He used to be a beekeeper. Borrowed some used casks to store the hives, but the interest accrued more quickly than the honey. Now he works for us here in the logistics. Okay. This is weird. Let's take a shuttle, I guess? Here's the fleet. Haha. Oh, we just use these to get around internally. How big is this place? What do you do here? Oh, I'm a copywriter. Text on the bottles and flyers and ad copy, that sort of thing. Discerning shades and heart-sick lovers have long known the taste of hard times and held it in the favor over all other spirits. This was one of mine. So, the trucks are just east a ways in shipping. You can be acquainted with the dispatcher there. Give me a tap on the shoulder if you see something that catches your eye. Always happy to show off the facilities. Sublime machinery. Let's take the shuttle, I guess. This is getting really weird. Well, that was a much shorter trip than I expected. Here it is. Now, I have to ask, as a matter of course, what kind of experience do you have driving trucks? I drove deliveries for an antique shop up until this last run. Aha! Precious cargo. You'll do just fine. And you can drive safely, can't you? I haven't any doubt. Now, it's only after what happened with Miguel this evening. What happened with Miguel this evening? Well, the dust is still clearing, of course. Perhaps he closed his eyes a moment, or simply hit a curve too devilish. I do pity ill-fated Miguel. He was good company, and slow to anger. But if we're speaking confidentially... Well, with all the lost product to be repaid, bourbon and glass dashed across the interstate, and a few casks too, we're all just thankful he had no next of kin. So, let's see if we can ring up the dispatcher. So this place is, like, dystopian as fuck, yeah? Starts the truck and switches to CB radio. A deep, monotonous voice drones from the dashboard speaker. 10:20 on that load, come back. Up in the Hummingbird Cave, 10:12, City Kitty. This is a good time. Is this a good time, dispatch? We may have found Miguel's replacement, though you might like to get acquainted. Thought you might like to get acquainted. 10:9, come again. Conway, introduce yourself. Pleased to meet you. Tell dispatch something impressive about yourself. They're very well regarded here. I'm not really here for a job. 99, wheel holder, gotta pay the water bill. Ah, so. I'm certain they'll call back before long. Let's take a look around the truck, eh? Wow, they really are just not giving a shit. Headlights work fine, see? Do a little fiddly with the controls. That's important. Most of our product goes out at night. You never know who you'll run into in the daylight, and dusk can be treacherously misleading with all that indirect light. The magic hour, eh? Driver sleep in the day, then? Sure, those that sleep. Miguel pulled extra day shifts when he could. Sometimes he'd help me, you know. And sometimes over in bottling. He shouldn't have been out driving at dusk. Weird shadows, soft light, dangerous. Headlights look, Conway had to get off the highway. Too loud, too murky. What? He turned off into some gray cornfield in Indiana. Empties rattle into the passenger seat. He watched traffic and birds. Seeing those migrations close up, they looked random. Thought that the load in the trailer, thousands of plastic cups, somebody wanted those cups in Rockford that night. Wasn't gonna happen. He was only human. He'd been out since the headlights were on. Didn't even stop for coffee. Cracked a beer at 3, eyes on the road. 4:30, he dodged some stray cattle. Headlights were coming back on. Rockford could wait. Early morning couldn't be much worse than late night. What could they care? He just needed a few hours. So, moving on. Okay. Tires? Oh, sure. I know you'll want to look. Kick the tires. That's the thing we do, isn't it? As though our knees could exert the kind of force these tires see out there on the road. We're more likely to hurt ourselves. Isn't that the way, eh? Sure, they're big machines, but they can be fragile. Absolutely. A truck deserves care and fearful respect, like a glass elephant. Miguel was a good driver, but he didn't have the quality of difference. Conway sat in a dim room full of folding chairs. Walls and ceiling were painted with old smoke. Someone read from the book. He drank coffee with a little sugar. He listened. Speaker listed all the things we tried, that we, most people in the room, were probably there by court order. Few others shared. They spoke in abstractions, like a program of action, or good orderly direction, spiritual but not religious, religious but not spiritual, all the things we tried. Then it was over. They clasped sweaty hands through a short prayer and stepped back out into the morning. He started walking. He was always walking these days. It was good to slow down. He felt clarifying, like a walking meditation. The road ran by a creek for a while. Took an unforeseen detour where the creek and the road parted, following the edge of the water. He skipped a few stones alone, then stopped to consider an overturned boat. It's kind of serenity that wandering through, looking without purpose. He was coming to rely on those moments. Now, what else can we show you? Alright. Wipers. Control the wipers with this knob here. And do little fizzles with the controls. They seem to have decent torque to them, eh? Can't say how they'd fare in an ice storm, but we must never delay a shipment. Better to assume the risk. Folks watch the weather closely. I wouldn't know if I saw it. I wouldn't know it if I saw it. Too many years of climate control. Have I mentioned I rarely ever leave our facility? I wouldn't know the rain if it drowned me. They ditched class for the day to drive in the rain. It was pointless to stay. All review. He was a lost cause, and she didn't need it anyway. She was smart, bored. It was time to cut out. Shitty day for it, though. 83 and biblical flood. Went to see a movie. Some anonymous swashbuckler film about a real men and real women. Real tights, real lips, fake blood. They brought a flask. They smoked cigarettes, drank awful hooch, whistled buckets of rain. She sang about someone she wanted once to have loved. Brown hair curled around her ear. She had a voice like Scotch whiskey. It was time to go. Stiff drinks were wearing on him, and he felt a surge of dejection. He knew she'd keep singing. He thought she would sing for someone who deserved to hear it. He knew she'd find a ride, so he slipped out alone. Sat in his car and went over some options. Chicago, Toronto, Barrow. It seemed like a bold and impulsive gesture at the time. He pulled out the parking lot. He removed his hands from the steering wheel for a moment, felt the car drift into a decision. Years later, he'd think of this as the moment he himself started drifting. Modest technology, but suited to the job, eh? Plenty good enough. Let's check out the back. Looks like it's just about ready to go out. We have some good, strong folks shipping here, so you never need to worry about loading if you don't want to. Bit hard on the knees and back at our age, eh? Of course, you'll have to unload at the destination, but that's the job. And some drivers like the extra shift stacking and loading here. Shouldn't really do any lifting these days. I see. Well, surely you could spare a dolly and a carry strap for your health and safety. Sounds like a lot of work. Conway woke up on baled hay. Everything was too bright. His head hurt, the usual. Set and Ira argued loudly just outside the open bar door. She wanted Ira to take him inside and shower, have some coffee, get to the job. Ira said there wasn't time. Conway was in no condition. It was an important job. They couldn't put it off. Ira said to let the deadbeat sleep it off and then send him packing. He said Charlie could do the job. Conway stepped out of the barn, shielding his eyes. He tried to say something reassuring, but just sort of stumbled around it. Lisette looked away. Ira just spat and went inside to wake Charlie. Ira was a stubborn man, so Charlie went along, and Conway drifted out again. I didn't hear about the accident until months later. So, what's next? Check the radio. Truck's radio crackles back to life. Dispatcher, driver, come back. Ah, there's dispatch. Now, tell me about your experience. Tell them the truck's in good shape. Tell them you'll start in the morning. Really can't. Yeah, we've got to finish this delivery in a few... 10:33 dispatch, we got 2 black eyes and a flock of crocodiles come back. 10-4, back it down and prick your eyelids, driver. Come back, Lem. 10-4. Come back, wheel holder. Dispatch is addressing you. He's here, dispatch. Got your ears on? Good. Listen to this. So, I think that went well. Let's head back to up to logistics and seal the deal. Eh? And I've got one more thing to show you. I have no fucking idea what's happening here. I love it. It's really weird and cool, but I have no idea what's going on right now. Let's go back, I guess, with Skeleton Warrior fucking guiding us. I don't understand. Let's head back upstairs, eh? I have one more thing to show you. Wait, we only came here looking for some answers about this stupid moldy computer. Oh, the old man in the cave with the moldy computer. The black mold. It's drawn to whiskey. It feeds on ethanol fumes, you see. As we age the whiskey, some of it inevitably evaporates into the air. The angels share. It goes through the vents here and out into the caves. If we can scrape up that mold, we can usually apply some pressure and cold to it, squeeze and condense the angel share back into drinkable whiskey. Every drop counts when you're making a living on the stuff. So he'd go down and scrape it off his equipment, just like any other place it grows. Kept sending his people here to drive us away. Paranoid, truly paranoid. Well, now we have the formula, so we don't need to go collecting mold. Since we stopped going down there, I'm sure the mold's gotten pretty thick. Try cleaning off the timing crystal. That'll get you going, I'm sure of it. So, join me upstairs? Okay, so these are the people that they were talking about that they met in the caves. Interesting. Huh. If you don't mind. This is weird. The adding machine. Here it is. A beauty, wouldn't you say? It's an antique, you know. What is it? Why, it's an adding machine. This is where we come for our daily ritual, to calculate the day's interest and repayment according to the formula. I usually do so at the beginning of my shift, so I know how many hours I need in order to keep up. Yes, I believe you'll do well here, sir. Happy to have you. Congratulations, you're hired. Wait, we can't... It's customary to start each day with a shift drink. Let's make it special. Mark the occasion. This is the top shelf stuff, now. Single barrel. He doesn't... Down the hatch. Venom Memorias Mors. Yeah, there's no other option. Decent enough. Welcome aboard. He's not working for you. We have to get back to this... He has a delivery to make. What's this? Not working. Are you turning down this opportunity? She's right. I have to make this... I'm disappointed. And I'm afraid that leaves us with a delicate problem. As indicated, this is the top shelf stuff you're drinking now. It isn't cheap. It's not your first shift drink. Well, and there's a matter of this tour just now. My time and experience are billed at quite a premium. This is not good for you, my friend. You're in quite deep. My back-of-the-envelope estimates, well, we will have that in common, I suppose. All of us. Yes, I'm afraid you'll have to work this off somehow. This is just the way of it. What's happening right now? You can start tomorrow. Take this time to settle your affairs. Of course, the interest begins to compound immediately, and, well, we'll go over the formula when you get here. I should get back to work. See you tomorrow, then. Wait. That's some weird dystopian trap shit. So, I guess I start in the morning. I guess. I'm confused. It's just the way these things go, kid. Huh. Well, that still gives a few hours to roam, right? Where's that ferry? Right on time, apparently. Whoa. Why the woolly mammoth, though? Why the woolly mammoth, though? Alright. That's a way to end it. Okay. So that's the end of Act 3, which means that I have to wait till Act 4 is released, which they tweeted a couple months ago that it's almost done, so maybe we'll continue this again soon, maybe not a year from now. But I really like this game a lot. Yeah, good stuff. Anyway, have a nice night, everyone. I'll see you.